With 12.9 in Escape from Tarkov, they added a new tier 6 armor, and at the first quick look, it might not look that impressive. But if you take a closer look and check it detailed, and if you understand all the stats and such, you realize pretty quickly that it's one of the best, if not the best, new armor in Escape from Tarkov 12.9. The armor I'm talking about is of course the 511 hex-grid plate carrier. So in this video, I will compare it to the previous best armor in the game, which is the tier 6 slick armor, which a lot of people actually think is better than the new 511 hex-grid armor. But that's just not the case. Before we get started though, I just want to let you guys know that I do stream Tarkov daily on twitch.tv/widdz. So if you have any Tarkov questions or just want to hang out and watch some gameplay, feel free to tune into the stream. But with that said though, let's get started. So the main focus will be the slick and hex-grid armor. I won't talk about other armors that covers more than 4x and such. I know there's a lot of different opinions when it comes to armor. Some people prefer to only cover 4x since the stomach and arms is not as important to cover since you can't die if it gets zeroed. While others really do prefer armor that also covers the stomach. There's definitely ups and downs with both. No stomach armor means that you can go in with a tier 6 armor, a alt-in helmet, and still get one tap in the stomach by a KS-23, just as you can see here in the clip. But it also means that you can keep your armor with a higher durability and you can take more shots to the 4x because of it, which is in my opinion better most of the time. But we are not here to discuss that in this video though. Maybe I'll do a video about that in the future. But in this video, we're just gonna compare slick to the hex-grid armor. So let's just do that. So if we take both armors side to side, the first thing people see is the armor points. Slick being at 80 armor points and hex-grid only being at 50, which is definitely on the lower end. So instantly, a lot of people will claim that the slick armor is the better choice, since they got so much more armor points. But as a lot of other stuff in Tarkov, this game have quite a lot of depth to it. It's not that simple to only compare the armor points, even if the armors are in the same tier. So what you really want to take a look at when it comes to armor is the material, since in this case both are armor class 6. Slick armor being armor steel and hex-grid being ultra high weight polyethylene. So let's go to Tarkov wiki and the ballistic section, which is amazing for armor information and bullet information. We're gonna take a look at the durability information about armor and their material. I'm gonna sort this by destructibility so we can understand what material is the best. Basically what this means is how good the armor will repair and also how much bullets will impact the armor. We can see that the Aramid is the best one by far in this case, but there is only tier 2 armors that are actually using that material, being the trusty P.A.K.A. and also the white armor module 3M. So in terms of higher tier armors, ultraweight poly is the best one available. So looking at slick armor, we can see that it uses steel, and steel is actually in the bottom of this list with a 0.7 destructibility modifier, while the ultraweight poly have a 0.45 modifier. So that's quite a big difference. So to make this a bit easier to understand, so literally the bullet damage that damage your armor will get multiplied by those modifiers. So let's say a bullet 10's armor by 10, the slick would lose 7 durability and be at 73 out of 80 in terms of armor points, while the hex-grid would be at 45 out of 50. The important thing with durability is that a slick armor being 50 out of 50 versus a hex-grid 50 out of 50 is that the hex-grid is way better. The slick armor will not work as it is 80 out of 80. It will only be around 60% as effective versus a full fresh durability one. So if you survive a lot but you take damage, over time the hex-grid will be a better option, since it repairs so well even if it's zeroed, while the slick doesn't repair anywhere close to that. To be fair though, both of these armors are quite similar in effective durability. With the armor points and material compared, the slick armor actually does have a better effective durability, sitting at 114 effective durability, while the hex-grid sits at 111, so a slight difference there. But what is effective durability, you might ask? Effective durability is calculated with the durability plus destructibility, which is the material. So for slick, it would be 80 armor points divided by the destructibility value being 0.7, which will give you a value at 114. And same with the hex-grid, 50 armor points divided by 0.45 destructibility value, putting it at 111. So with that said, the slick have the better effective durability, but in every other single case, it does lose against the hex-grid. If we also take a look at the stats closer, you lose 2 less movement speed, and also the slick armor weighs 2.4 kilos more than the hex-grid, which is definitely worth to note, with BSG recently making weight limits matter more. But the best part about the armor here is the price difference. We take a quick look at the flea market, you usually find slick armors around the 300k mark, maybe a little bit lower, while you can pick up the hex-grid for around 200k mark. So there's usually at least a 50 to 100k price difference on the flea market. But you can actually get it cheaper. What if I told you I managed to buy multiple hex-grid at full durability for less than 100k? Yeah, I actually done that multiple times. So for you guys that are still watching, I'm gonna tell you the best way to get 511 hex-grid armor cheap. But before I tell you, I would just remind you to hit that subscribe button if you're interested for more Tarkov videos like this in the future. I do have a lot of videos planned that I know you guys will like. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you like these type of videos, so I do know. Anyway, when you get Ragman level 3, he will actually give you a barter trade for a 511 hex-grid armor. So for 5 Shmaska hats, or sky hat with holes for eye mask, and 5 Ushankas, and 5 round frame glasses, you get a fresh 511 hex-grid armor. Worth to note though, you can only do this trade once every reset. So how did I get all that for less than 100k though? Well, I obviously bought them all from the flea market, and I guess none of you are surprised by that. But I do have a lot of them on my wish list in the flea market. So if you right click an item, you can press add to wish list, and then in the top left corner, you can go to said wish list, which is a really good way to just have your favorite items that you buy a lot in one place. So many times people will actually sell these items to fence. And especially for these items, they are just super cheap to get from fence. So if you take a look at the items you need, you refresh a bit, you can easily snipe a lot of these items for super good price. Ushanka hats you can get for 6k each from fence. The glasses are a little bit hard to get from fence, but it happens sometimes. But a good price for the glasses are like 15k or below, preferably like 10k though. Same with the Shmaskas, I think around 10k is a good price. You do see them a bit on fence as well, but most of the times it's usually Ushankas that I get from fence. If you can't get the Ushankas from fence though, 10k is a really good price. These items do fluctuate a lot though. Sometimes you can only buy them for 20 to 30k, sometimes they are like 10k or below. And of course these prices are gonna go up as people understand how good the 511 hex-grid is, and also this barter trade. But as of right now, it's an insanely good trade. And worth to note as well, even if you can only trade 1 armor per reset, you can still stack up these items. So just try to snipe them cheap and have them in your stash. That's basically how I do it. But I think that covers everything. If you feel like I missed something, then let me know in the comment section below and I will try to answer your questions. I just wanted to make a video comparing these two since a lot of people have claimed that slick is the better option, but I strongly disagree, and if you watch the video you know as well that the hex is just the better option between these two. Anyway, that's gonna be it. If you're interested in more Tarkov videos, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as I said before, I also do stream Tarkov daily on twitch.tv/widdz. So see you guys on the stream or catch you guys in the next video.